Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me for Rebounding in Yoga, day 33. So in addition to bouncing today, we're going to get into the core, and we're going to be doing some different things on the rebounder that can really help not only increase and strengthen your core, but also help your low back. So we'll be doing some poses specifically for the low back, as well as for the core, and of course for the whole body as well. So remember to listen to your body and your breath, find variations as you need to, and let's get started. So start with some easy, just very gentle bouncing. Always listen to your body. You can always just stay at this level, hardly lifting the heels at all. Maybe shake the arms, loosen up the arms and shoulders a little bit. Shake off any stress or tension. And begin by engaging your core, hinging slightly at your hips, and make sure your knees feel okay. Every day is different. You can do a low-key practice one day, maybe a more energetic practice another day. Maybe side to side. Maybe your feet are wider or in line with your shoulders. This is so good for your whole body, not only for building bone, improving muscle tone, getting energy, stimulating your lymph, having fun, getting your heart rate going. Little twist. Basic bouncing. Maybe a little bit higher if you want to. And then wide doubles. Using your arms. Keep your core engaged. Back to basic. Twist. Maybe move your arms. basic. Wide doubles. Wide singles. Basic. Side to side, slowing it down a little bit. And then knee curls. That always feels so good on my quads. Getting sort of a stretch in the thighs as you activate your hamstrings. And then knee lifts. You could do elbows to knee, elbows to opposite knee, or just your hands. Lightly. And then little kicks. Be mindful here, maybe hold your stability bar if you have one, or just be very cautious. This is great for balance. Or if you want to start a kick line. Back to little marching. Little marches. And then we're going to go wide and in, out, in, out, in. Sort of marching wide and then in. And then changing sides, so a little tap. Which side did I start? Notice if one side is more confusing or challenging than the other. Other side. Switch. Tap, other side. One more switch. And then just march. Marching with a little bounce. And then like running in place. And then back to basic. Return to basic. Find your variation. Wide doubles. Side singles. Diagonals. Slow it down, side to side. Maybe a few more leg curls, or just keep doing the side to side. March it out slowly, slowing it down. Step wide. Pause, knees bent. Take an inhale, reach up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. And then pausing here, take an inhale. Knees bent, maybe shaking. Lower one hand down, twist towards the other side. Come up, other hand down, twist towards the opposite side. Inhale up, exhale, one hand down, twist. Inhale up, other hand down, twist. Inhale up, one more time on each side. And then make your way down onto your mat or rebounder. Find your breath. Come into table pose. And we'll flow through a few cat-cows. Inhale, arch into cow. Draw your heart forward, tip your tailbone up. Exhale, navel to spine for cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Notice how your spine feels. And then come to neutral. Extend your right leg back. Flex the foot. Make sure your hands are just about under your shoulders. You can keep both hands down or extend your left arm out. Left arm, right leg extended. Pointer dog. Core is active. Notice your balance. And then lower your left hand. Bend your right knee. Extend your left leg out. Opposite foot. Right arm, so opposite arm to leg that's extended. Core is active. Look straight down. Lengthen the back of your neck. Press through your lifted heel. Pointer dog. Extended arm. The thumb is towards the sky. Gaze is down. Lower your hand, rebend your knee. Widen your knees, toes touch. Sit your hips back towards your heels for child's pose. You can stack your hands and rest your head on your hands, or maybe to your mat, or just hands on top of each other. Breathe here. Just relax the shoulders, relax your lower back. And then come back up, come to a seat, and we'll come into a side bend. So we're going to get into the core and movement and poses for the low back. One hand down, lift the other arm up, come into a little side bend. Support yourself with your bottom hand. Notice how that feels. Be mindful of any shoulder issues. You might look straight ahead, you might lift your gaze, or you might look down to release your neck. Breathe here. Inhale, come up. Lower the other hand down, reach your other arm up. Side bend to your other side. Breathe here. Reach the other arm up, back up. Lower your hands. So come to a seat with your legs out in front of you. Scoot your hips almost to the middle of your mat. Make sure you have some room behind you. And we'll come into a little bit of a boat pose here. Hands behind your legs, lengthen through your spine. Engage your core and engage your upper back and shoulder girdle. So those muscles between your shoulder blades, the rhomboids, are active. It's like you're pulling your shoulder blades closer together, lifting your heart. So avoid rounding the upper back. That's not good. We want to lift the heart. Engage your core. Maybe bring the toes a little closer. Maybe lift the toes. Maybe lift the lower legs a little bit more, finding a little bit of balance. It's a little more challenging here on the rebounder. We're going to find some other fun things for the core too. So if you would like, you can always challenge yourself and have your arms alongside your lower legs. Just be mindful that you have space behind you if you were to roll back. And then if your low back complains, hold on to your legs. Lower the feet. And we're going to make our way down onto the mat. So we're going to come into a few poses, or a few exercises rather, with some movement that is sort of from Pilates. So these you may be familiar with. They're called the hundreds. And we're going to do it on the rebounder if yours is big enough, if not just a regular mat. Now the fun thing about doing these hundreds on the rebounder, which I noticed the other day when I first started doing it, is you get a little bit of bouncing going on when you're on your back. And it made me laugh. We'll see how it feels for you, if it works or not. So I'm going to come down onto my back. And make sure your head is supported. My head is just sort of on this cushion of the padding. Bring your knees in line with your hips, or a little bit more towards your belly. Core is engaged. And just make sure you're in a good spot. So we're going to start with the knees bent. And you can either keep your head down, especially if you have any neck issues, just feel free to keep your head down. Or for more action and strengthening, you'll lift your head. So you're not going to lift your head and round the head or the neck. You want to think of just like lifting your head, looking up to the ceiling, not trying to look towards your hips or the other side of the rebounder. If it's too much for your neck, keep your head down, or maybe bring one hand behind your head and the other arm extended. So we're going to have our arms active and extended, hovering over the mat. Palms are spread wide, and they're going to be active pumping like this. So even now you can see I'm sort of getting a little bounce there. So when I lift my head, I'm going to be here, sort of looking at my knees, and my arms are going to be here. So we'll do 5 breaths for the inhale, like a breathing short little breaths, and exhale like that. I usually breathe through the mouth when I exhale and inhale through the nose. So find what works for you. And I can't talk when I do this, so we'll do as many as you feel comfortable doing. We'll see if I get to 100 or not. If you want a little bit more challenge, instead of keeping the knees bent, you can extend them out straight. Maybe at about 45 degrees. If you want more challenge, you can have them lower. Or less challenge, have them a little higher. Mix it up a little bit if you would like. And when you're ready, let's begin. Oh, that's it for me for now. Whew, take a break whenever you're ready. Notice your breath. Relax. Just release effort. And then from here, we'll do little Parivartanasana, keeping the knees bent, getting into the obliques. I'm going to turn this way, be a little bit more visible where the knees are going. Hands are going to hold the outer edge of the rebounder. If you're on the floor, you can just have your hands out beside you on the mat or floor. Core is active, knees are bent to whatever degree. More challenge, you'll unbend the knees. Less challenge, you'll bend the knees more. Core is engaged. Be mindful of your low back. If you have any low back issues, don't go as far over to each side, and keep your knees more towards your navel rather than over the hips or away from the hips. So take an inhale, and as you exhale, slowly take your knees over to one side, keeping the knees together, maybe just about halfway. Inhale, slowly come up. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale to slowly come up. Exhale over to the other side. Again, inhale, slowly come up. Slowly and smoothly over to the other side. Engage your core. You're getting into the obliques here. Move smoothly and slowly. Couple more times on each side if this is working for you. If not, just stop. I'm going to do one more on each side. And then when you come up, give your knees a little hug. And then from here, another good one, not only just for the low back, but for the hips, is figure 4 hip stretch. So you can cross one ankle over the opposite thigh, lift the other foot up, and maybe hold behind that thigh as you draw that leg and ankle towards you, so you get a stretch into the outer hip. And that can feel really good. Breathe here. Make sure your knees feel okay. And then maybe straighten your legs up. Other side, cross your other ankle over the opposite thigh. You can relax the lower leg of the leg that's not working, holding behind that thigh, drawing your knee and ankle towards you. And the ankle that's crossed over that thigh, keep it active, toes towards the shin. Make sure it feels okay in your knee. You should feel this in your outer hip. And then release. Draw your knees in, give yourself a little hug, and then straighten the legs up to the sky. Might point and flex through the feet. And then bend the knees, roll over to one side and push yourself up to a seat. And we'll come into a twist. Bend your right knee, cross that right foot over your left leg. You can keep that left leg straight, or if you prefer, you can bend it, which would look like this. Ardha Matsyendrasana, seated twist. So find your variation, leg straight or bent. Right hand behind you, left hand to the outer right leg. Sit up nice and tall, and exhale, twist to your right. This should feel nice in your spine. Never force your way into any twist. Breathe here. And then slowly unwind. And we'll do the other side. From straight legs, bend your left knee, cross it over the right, and have the foot over the rebounder if you want. Again, you can stay here with the right leg straight or bending the right knee. Make sure your knees feel okay. Left hand behind you, right hand to the outer left leg. Sit up nice and tall. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, unwind, come back to center. Straighten your legs out. And then a little forward fold, hinging from your hips. Think of lengthening all the way through your spine, crown of the head away from your sacrum, rather than rounding the spine. Hands on either side of your legs. Remember, it's not about how far you go, but who you are when you get there. You never want to force anything. Each inhale, think of lengthening through your spine, and each exhale, hinging from your hips to maybe go a little deeper. It might be very subtle. And it might feel better to have your feet over the rebounder. Feels like a little easier to hold forward. And you can have the knees bent a little if you need to. And then slowly come back up. And we're going to come back into boat. And notice how this boat feels. It might feel a little easier, it might not. Holding behind your knees, sitting almost in the middle of the rebounder. Lift your feet up, engage your core, knees towards your chest. Find your variation. Again, you might just hold the knees and focus on balancing because that's a little bit more action going on the rebounder. All those muscles are helping to keep your balance as well as engaging through the core. Option for the arms. If you feel you're starting to sink in your boat, just pull yourself back up. Lower the knees if you want, or rather lower the feet if you want. And then lower the feet down. Scoot your hips back. Bring the soles of your feet together for cobbler pose. You can have the feet about a foot away from your hips, hands where they make sense to you. Lengthen through your spine, hinge from your hips. This gets another nice stretch into the outer hips and the low back. Really focus on creating that space between all of the vertebrae, lengthening through your spine. Have your hands out in front of you or on your feet or ankles. Slowly make your way back up. Close your knees. Make your way onto hands and knees. Maybe a few more rounds of cat-cow if you want, or a downward facing dog. Lengthen through your spine. Navel to the spine as you drop your heels, taking your heart in the direction of your toes. Make sure this feels stable to you. One more breath. Lower your knees and come into child's pose once more. Maybe knees are closer together or a little wider, whatever feels good. Stack your hands or make fists so that you can comfortably rest your forehead on your hands. This is so comfortable usually for the low back. Just make sure your knees feel okay here. Feel free to stay in your child's pose as long as you have time for. When you're ready, maybe bring yourself up to a seat, or you can roll over on your back for a little shavasana. You might close your eyes and just find a few breaths, just a brief meditation, tuning into your body, your breath, noticing this present moment as it is, accepting this present moment as it is without trying to change anything. Appreciating everything you were able to do today. Appreciating your body. Appreciating this moment. Appreciating your heart. And just taking the time for yourself. And I appreciate you as well. Thank you so much for joining me today for this practice. Feel free to put any comments down below. Let me know how it felt for you. And continue to do this practice to build more strength in your core. One day might be different than another. Really honor how your body feels. And if you've not already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel for more videos on rebounding and yoga. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you, everyone. Namaste.